After the first night, they don't matter. I search for one much better. She emotional like she been battered, but this shit just don't add up. I'm subtracting my feelings when the pills pop. I'm ill and cut my phone.
Yo, what's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You know what it is, man. I'm coming here today to talk to y'all about a little bit of breaking news concerning Anthony Joshua, the one true king. You know what I'm saying? Froch, as of March 6th, was on Sky Sports, as they always do, and they was talking about the Jarell Miller Anthony Joshua fight on June 1st. And he was basically saying that, you know, he was speaking with Anthony Joshua's coach and stuff like that, and basically saying that Anthony Joshua shouldn't come out of character, Anthony Joshua shouldn't talk shit, he should be himself. Well, this is the thing. Anthony Joshua, like I said before, you know what I mean, when I did the one video when I said Anthony Joshua need to let his nuts hang, and you know what I'm saying, for other people that don't understand what I mean, basically, you know what I'm saying, I just said he needs to, you know what I'm saying, speak his truth, talk his shit, and just, you know what I'm saying, not let himself get overwhelmed in the press conference with such a big fighter, you know, because, and I stated that, and I didn't bring this up last time, during the Dillian White matchup, when they did gloves off, you know, Dillian White, you know, was getting at Joshua in so many ways, talking about they could get outside, make a go of it, you know what I mean, and so many things of that nature that you could just see looking at Anthony Joshua's eyes, as he basically said nothing, wanted to shake the man's hand. The man didn't shake his hand back. That's like the ultimate sign of disrespect. And you could see that Anthony Joshua, you know what I'm saying, was brewing with pessimistic intent to knock this dude whole head off. You could see that he wanted to knock his whole head off. When he said he wanted to make a go of it, he just sat there and he just stared at the guy with his Red Dead Redemption dead eye stare. So going back to the Big Baby Miller, Froch speaking on that, and the Anthony Joshua fight on June 1st, I would say that Mr. Froch, you know, I respect what you did. Your TKO in the 8th round against George Groves, and then coming back and slumping his ass again in the following fight in the immediate rematch coming 2014. You know, it's kind of funny that you would say, you know, he talking out of character and things like that, and people shouldn't talk shit, but wasn't you talking shit, you know what I'm saying, when you went home with your plastic nose? I'm just saying though, you know what I'm saying? So it comes to a point to where, you know, everybody needs to talk, because if you don't get it out and you don't say what's on your mind, it leaves too many things open for interpretation. And I'd say it's more open for interpretation for, you know, your opposition, because your opposition is speaking their truth. So when Anthony Joshua is quiet all the time and he's not saying anything, he's letting the beef brew silently. So when he gets in the ring, you know, he's already geared up with so much aggression, so much pessimism, and so much malicious intent with his fist that he's just going straight in, and he's just trying to just overwhelm him with power just through aggression, you know, just mindless thinking, and just go straight at him like a pit off the chain. So when he did that with Dillian White, what happened? Dillian White caught him with a nice right hand and caught him on the button, and Anthony Joshua got wobbled. And, you know, he had to get his bearings back, come through to rally for the knockout that left Dillian White, you know, hands up, like he was about to be crucified through the damn ropes, head bouncing off the floor, looking like damn bobblehead Ray or some shit like that. So, Mr. Froch, I'm saying this. Anthony Joshua has always had things on his mind. He's always said things, and even though he's a very polished fighter, meaning he's very classy, you know, he sticks to his wit, you know what I'm saying, as he says, you know, like they say over in England, he likes to keep his nut down, basically, to all my Americans, keep his lid on, as they said on the Breakfast Club. He has to speak up. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean he has to do anything outlandish. Doesn't mean he has to act all crazy or whatever, but he has to speak up in the sense of, you know, too much stuff is left in interpretation for the opposition. So if he doesn't speak up, you know what I'm saying, people are already basically, you know, it's getting to him. It's getting through him out the months, you know, as the fight's coming up, because of the fact that he's got so much on his chest. So the presser is what it's for, to ultimately build the fight, and so you could get these things off of your chest. So while you're head to head or face to face or sitting side by side, you can basically say the things that you need to say and get that off. So it's not harbor ill will, and you don't come in the fight trying to, you know, just trying to brawl and just throw recklessly and just be mindless, you know, as you trying to, you know, assassinate your opponent. and catch a knockout in the ring. So I don't want that for Anthony Joshua. I don't want Anthony Joshua going to Big Baby Miller fight, you know, extra aggressive, extra pissed off, and then end up, you know, being careless. Big Baby is already, you know what I'm saying, by his fighting style and just by genuinely who he is, he has never felt no power like this. He's never went up against nobody like this. And all he does is shovel to the side, kind of like a 45-degree. He edges in and he has no head movement. He only moves his head. Like if you watch the Wok fight, he just continuously took jabs. He took stiff jabs and he kept moving in and he tried to play a lot with the body and then come upstairs a little bit. But they were, you know what I'm saying, extremely slow shots to me, and they were extremely soft shots. So, you know, when Joshua punches, he punches with conviction. So he's going to try to use that same game plan. And, you know, people try to say, you know, when it gets to after the 5th or 6th round, as Carl Froch said, he believes that, you know, it could be trouble for Joshua, but he can't make 3 damn minutes. He can't make fucking 15 minutes of getting hit by Anthony Joshua like that, because it's not going to work out like that. He'll be a goddamn vegetable, punch drunk in the ring, and he's just going to come out speaking Chinese and shit. Like, he going to spark his ass to where he going to learn a whole different language after he gets shot. Like, the boy hit too hard. So I basically, you know, my whole rebuttal for what he is saying, that Carl Froch is saying is, yeah, Anthony Joshua, go ahead and speak your mind, say what's on your mind, and, you know, be very confident when you speak it. You know what I'm saying? People call you outside of your name. If you really feel as though you need to speak a certain way, then speak it. That doesn't change who he is as a person. It doesn't change what he does in the community. Y'all got to understand, man. This is boxing, man. This isn't no goddamn, this ain't double dutch. This ain't swimming. This ain't goddamn freaking water polo, or none of that bullshit. This is a gladiator sport. This is the fight game, man. This is the fight business, man. And this is the business that we in. And you're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to speak up. You know what I'm saying? So Anthony Joshua is just finding, you know, he's finding his voice and speaking up. And he's not really getting, he's not getting a lot off and saying a lot of crazy things. He's just basically, you know what I'm saying the necessary things that he needs to say. And I think he's being a little bit more convincing in the media and speaking his truth. Because if you think back to the whole Deontay Wilder situation and the $50 million, all you heard was Deontay Wilder's side of things. And Anthony Joshua always left everything open for interpretation, because he's a very, 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 very deep thinker. He's an eloquent speaker, and he just doesn't, you know, he just don't get wrapped up in what's got going on in the media, and that's how he stays focused. So now I would prefer, you know, and he's been doing what I kind of prefer, you know, hypothetically, speaking up, because, you know, like, everybody's bullshit has been weighing on him to where it's been coming one-sided, and now he's coming over in America and a platform where everybody's going to be highly biased against him, except me, except guys, you know, with their own platform that, you know, really can read between the lines and speak the truth about what's going on. People are just going to continuously be biased with him. So now his truth is starting to come out. So now, instead of hearing one side of things, we got two sides. We got his side. And, you know, the guy with the 4 belts, and who hasn't wavered in his personality, whose management and the promotion, what they've said has been that way, and the narrative has never changed. And the other counterparts, their narratives always change. And then you got guys like Jarell Miller, who doesn't like Deontay Wilder, who, you know, in sparring, I heard Deontay Wilder gave him a concussion. And Jarell basically confirmed that by saying that was then, but this is now. So if Jarell Miller got a concussion from one of Deontay Wilder's, you know what I'm saying, chicken wing shots from the right hand, then what do you think Anthony Joshua was going to do to him, being the more solid, more stout fighter and way more stocky than Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder weighed in with Tyson Fury at 205 pounds at fight night. I'm 6 foot and I weigh 180. So him being 6'7" at 205, if y'all think that's power, it's skinny nigga power, but it's not real power, and it's not kinetic, because he doesn't take advantage and make his power come from the ground up. Anthony Joshua is a very kinetic fighter, meaning that all of his inertia and all of his punch power comes from the ground up, because he rotates his shot and throws it. So, you know, he maximizes on his power. So the jabs are going to be solid. They're going to stick. Even if he peppers it, it's going to hurt Jarell Miller. You got to look at the opposition that Jarell Miller has fought. And I mean, guys like Gerald Washington and Wok and people like that. These aren't stellar fighters. These are C-level fighters. He hasn't been in there with any real opposition. This is the first time he's fighting a five-star opponent, for a belt holder who has 22 fights, and he's already holding 4 belts, and it's for all of the tough opposition. Jarell Miller, who never wants to sign up and test for VADA, talking about some, oh, you know, then I got to come over here and get tested, and I got to worry about being random and stuff like that. Man, I got so much stuff going on, I want to move around. No, your face is rounding out. So while you talking about Joshua being on steroids when he signed up for two different styles of testing, and he gets tested twice a week on a regular basis, everybody knows that a person with steroids, they develop a bunch of bumps on their shoulders and across their back, and their face is rounded out. Jarell likes to eat a lot of cheeseburgers, but Jarell like to juice it too. You know what I'm saying? Just like we know Canelo has been juicing, and I mean, and he's been caught up and things like that. So now you in a position, because you fighting for a belt, think about that as well. Jarell Miller is not going to have that same sting. And Anthony Joshua even went on to say, when he was doing, you know, when he was at the Land Rover, facility, manufacturing facility, and he was watching them get done with the Evoke, Anthony Joshua being a big, you know, a big fan of Land Rover and having business with Land Rover, he basically compared Jarell Miller being a Mercedes and Anthony Joshua being the Land Rover, and just saying, you know, we just don't mix, we don't get along, there's always going to be beef there. He said, you know, you cut Jarell Miller 8 different ways like he did at the preview of The Gloves Are Off. He said he's just a disease that will continue to spread. So no matter how you slice it, Anthony Joshua, you know, has dealt with so much trolling in the physical from Jarell Miller that he's always just sat in the back, like you saw at the one press conference for the Alexander Povetkin fight and Anthony Joshua. All Jarell Miller did was sit there and just heckle him when Anthony Joshua was trying to handle business, because he hazing on what that man is a mass. And, you know, you didn't want to take the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like this. Jarell Miller, you pulled out of a fight for Kubrat Pulev. You ducked him. You ducked Kubrat Pulev because you were scared. And you fought a lesser guy. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't fight Kubrat Pulev, and you talking all crazy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even want to bring that energy to the Cobra, but you bringing all of this false energy to Anthony Joshua, and then just the way you doing things, you know what I'm saying? It just shows me that, you know, you already know what's going to happen to you. So, you know, Blue Blood and everybody talking about this stuff, talking about the Anthony Joshua news, man, stop it, man. Stay over there with Deontay Wilder and what you doing, because the fact that you even want to talk about this stuff, it kind of blows me, because you don't have no... You have no interest, no care, or you don't, you know what I'm saying, or you're the biggest Anthony Joshua fan on the low, and the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you got Deontay Wilder calling you, you know what I'm saying, your little boo thing, you know what I'm saying, you act like, you know, you want to break the news for Anthony Joshua, and just the fact that you even, the fact that you clickbaited and try to say that Deontay Wilder was going to fight Alexander Usyk, and if you don't believe me, look this bullshit up, on damn May 18th, I believe, or the 13th, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he said May 18th. That's a goddamn lie, because Alexander Usyk was trying to fight Carlos Takam, or he was trying to fight Povetkin on the damn 18th. So, and on top of that, damn Deontay Wilder wouldn't even take an Alexander Usyk fight, because he'll beat his ass and get him out of there in damn 4 rounds. Everybody knows that Alexander Usyk feels his opponents out from 1 to 3. And then the 3rd round, he pours it on, and he's a taunting fighter. He likes to stay in your face. He pops a jab. He's front foot dominant. You know what I'm saying? He waves out the right arm. You know what I mean? He's got Ali Brashir in his corner, so they help with the movement and stuff like that, man. He a Ukrainian fighter that just move different. So stop the lies, man. Stop trying to clickbait for extra views. Don't even talk on Anthony Joshua for real unless you gonna keep it 100. And you act like you with this UK wave and all of this, man. You're not really for it, brother. You not. You know what I'm saying? You've never said anything good about Anthony Joshua, and you never, you know what I'm saying, reported the truth. And even when it was right in front of your face, you still try to continue with the continuous false narrative of the PBC. Man, we done with it. We ain't rocking with it. We're not going going for it. You know what I mean? So with that being said, Anthony Joshua, you doing the right thing. It's better, you know what I'm saying, to say what's on your mind right when it's there, because one thing we know about you, you do speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to waver from that. So if you saying what you're saying, we know that it's factual, we know that it's true, and we know how that feels. And when you speak, when he speaks what he feels, and we're not used to him talking this way in the press conference, you're getting a good idea of how this individual really is. And you know that he's a sniper, and you know he means what he says. So if you hear something out of with venomous intent coming from Anthony Joshua's mouth, know that he's really going to put in that work. He's going to do that business come June 1st. So, you know what I'm saying, Jarell Miller's going to get up out of there. Call Froch, man, you know what I'm saying, that's your UK mate or whatever. I mean, you probably know Anthony Joshua behind the scenes, considering you speaking with the coaching and everything, but you're just not noticing, you know, what the fans and the other, you know, people with analysis like myself and other individuals are seeing. That Anthony Joshua has to, you know what I'm saying, Anthony Joshua has to defend himself. Not only inside of the ring, he has to defend himself outside of the ring. So salute to you for Anthony Joshua for doing that. If you feel like Jarell Miller's a bitch, if you feel like he's a coward, if you feel like he's a disease, man, go ahead and say that. Because when the gloves are off, you know what I'm saying, when that airs, you know, we're really going to see some, you know, some distasteful commentary from both sides of, you know, the table. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, the tension's so thick, you can cut it with a damn knife. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Anthony Joshua, shout out to you. Blue Bud, Boo, and Carl Froch, you know, I respect your opinion. I respect you as a fighter, man, how you nullified George Groves twice, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's kind of contradicting for you to say that, considering how you pop shit with, you know what I'm saying, how you was popping shit, you know what I'm saying, with your little plastic nose. So at the end of the day, man, you know, he is his own man. He's going to talk how he wants to talk, and he's still the one true king, for a belt holder, IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO, champ, gold medalist, man, Anthony Joshua, man. This your man 3K the Boss, aka the boxing gang Shang Tsung. You know what I'm saying? As we always say, before the segment ends, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Respect.